around 1988-89, my hometown there was a conflict over there, and my family was not together at that time. So I ran for safety on my own by crossing River Nile onto the other side, the east bank of the Nile, for safety. And my hope was that I was going to go back home. But on the other side, we were in Bor, and Bor wasn't safe either. And basically we became refugees for the first time. At that time, I was, very young, 8 years old. So we live in Ethiopia. Basically the refugee camp was just a jungle, but they told us to make a place out of it. After 2.5 years in Ethiopia, there was a conflict again in Ethiopia. So Ethiopian rebels ended up attacking our camps. We had to run back to Sudan again. But because the conflict in Sudan was still going on, we were not able to reach our homes. So we're trapped at the border between Sudan and Ethiopia. I have been separated from my family for 18 years without contact until early 2006, when after the signing of the peace agreement, I was able to go back home. So going back home, my intention was to go and explain to my family how much I have suffered. But when they told me their story, I was convinced that it was their story was more tragic than mine, and that I was actually fortunate. My father had died during the war, and my older brother, I still had a family, and my mother was there. I was very happy about that. But the condition that they were in and their experiences were also heartbreaking for me. So I came back here in the United States, and I began to mobilize resources with some friends. So that's when we founded the new Sudan Education Initiative, which is a program that raises money and builds schools. So we chose Ye because it was closer to Uganda, where we can get raw materials and other places, and it was easy to get to. Many Americans, take electricity for granted because when they come home from work, they just switch it on. But in Sudan, we don't have electricity. And part of not having electricity is that people are not as productive as they should be. For example, in Ye in particular, when I went in 2006, most shops would close at 5 o'clock because it is dark. But when the electricity was installed, the shops were able to open and operate until 10 or 9 at night. Having that power in Ye, hospitals are able to operate longer, 24 hours. So electricity, I think, is part of civilization. People can still live without electricity, and we have for many thousands of years. We need electricity to be able to benefit from the globalization. In Southern Sudan right now, if you make a road somewhere and you put up a light bulb somewhere, you can find a town around that. In probably months, in a couple months, you find it like a big growing town. So Ye now is a totally different town. To actually know that the war is over is to see that, so-and-so just put up a store. Oh, there is electricity now on the streets of Ye. Oh, this road now is open. That is like a message that the war is actually over. So electricity is part of the equation in establishing long-term peace and stability in the country. But I want to appreciate the NRECA, for inviting me here, and also for actually helping with electricity in my country. And I want to encourage you guys to make to keep on with the work. It is noble, and it is part of peace all over the world. So Thank you.